Let's see what we have. Oop. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Rob. Yeah, we're just starting to do the new thing recently is the live. So we're starting on YouTube, yeah. So we're starting to do the lives, and then we do the pre-records too, but it takes us like a little bit to edit because we work all day. So mostly when we got back, we put everything together quickly, and then to prep everything up isn't easy, but we try to we're improving. So we did just us before. We've done like pre-records, and now we're doing the live. So yeah. So yeah, let's try to help somebody out, people out, and spread your message, whatever good messages you have, anything you want to say.
Yeah,
by all means,
a lot of good messages on podcasts and overall social medias.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, sometimes people are going through the same things you go through.
Exactly, that's true.
And you can relate.
Everything's good,
Okay. Should I? What was I going to say? Should I test the chat? Because I don't know if the chat. It says here, welcome to the chat, but should I?
It should be live. Should be good.
Should be good.
Mm-hmm.
See if anybody's. There we go. It looks like it's working. Let me see. And you said it's playing upstairs, right? So it's good?
Yeah.
Do I need to put these on too?
Yeah, so
just so you can
hear. Like if you think you're a little you can't hear yourself too well, we usually tell everybody to get a little closer so they can hear. Is it too loud, the sound, or is it okay?
You can adjust this too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can push it up
Wait,
and
that's a
down.
little loud.
Oh, it's too loud?
Can you make it a little?
Lower?
Oh, right here.
Which one is it? Is it 3?
Hers is 3.
Like that?
Yep.
Boom. Hello. How's the sound now? I lowered it a little bit. Is it okay, or is it still too much?
No, it's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So let's get started. I'm sure there's going to be some folks coming in. All right. Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Good. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome to the podcast, guys. Oh, I have the camera in the wrong spot. I'm with the camera changer guy. I have to remember that. Welcome to the podcast, guys, with Rob and Nando. We are back with another lovely guest. Before we go ahead and introduce our guest, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel on YouTube. We are the podcast guys on there, on Facebook, on TikTok, Instagram, and Rumble. We are the podcast guys _ the podcast guys 5 on X. And make sure you check us out. We're on Threads now, so the podcast guys _ there, and on Spotify, the podcast guys. So without further ado, we are live, by the way, guys. So we are, if there's anything that we fluster a little bit, be a little patient with us because we haven't done many of the lives, but we're going live. We're going hard, and we're just improving every day, trying to help you guys out. But without further ado, why don't we go ahead and introduce our lovely guest to the show. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, I'm Lena. I'm 41 years old. I just recently moved to New Jersey in 2022. I was originally born in Russia. Lived there until I was 10, and most of my life I spent in Germany.
Cool.
I moved to the U.S. in 2012.
Okay,
About
great.
15 years ago now. 13 years ago. I have 2 little boys, 10 and 12, and I am currently in a relationship, but also going through a divorce still, and have been for the last couple of years.
It's a long process
it's
from
a-
what
It's
it
a
is, right?
very
It's, yeah.
long process.
long
and
process, not easy, and we tip our hat to you because I know those things in life that come up are tough to go through, but eventually you come out better afterwards for it. So
Hopefully.
yeah, it'll get
It's been a while, but it's also due to him being outside the country, and it's just been a little bit lack of communication and
Oh, yeah,
getting
yeah. I could,
things
I
done.
could
And
imagine, yeah.
right. Once it's done, I'm sure you're gonna be happy, feel
free as a
free.
Yeah.
bird.
Absolutely. Well, welcome. Do you have anything that any quick message or anything that you want to promote about yourself to the people out there?
Not yet. I might start training at some point, coaching.
Cool.
I just recently got into bodybuilding, so a lot of people have been asking me if I train. I'm pretty busy with my day job and 2 kids, so for now, I have not started doing so, but maybe at some point.
Gotcha. Okay. Good for you. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming on. And why don't we go ahead and get started with the first question?
Yeah, so generally we talk mostly about like relationships, dating, topics related to that, but I'd like to get into some fitness stuff later as well and ask you some questions about that. But anyways, first question of the night. So a lot of men struggle with dating nowadays to the point where some of them have completely stepped out or given up. What would you say are some things that men can improve on to improve their dating? Like, I know that's a very broad question, but what are some things you've noticed that men do over the years that they need to like obviously fix?
The first thing that comes to mind, I think most men, at least the ones I came across, are not really dating to date.
Long term.
Long term,
Mhm.
yeah. So they're, in my opinion, just running through women. And I'm sure they finding a lot of things wrong with all kinds, but really at the end, I think it's really they just not intentionally looking for.
They're
a
approaching
long-term-
it with a short-term mentality. They're not thinking ahead like, I want a long-term relationship with this woman. They're just kind of looking to hop from girl to girl and like short-term mentality from what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying as far as, because then you get probably you see something that you don't like, a small thing, and you automatically like annoyed because you think, okay, I got other options, and that's why you just keep jumping from one to another. But at the end of the day, what I was told, there is piss in the pool, dating pool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think every woman that somebody's gonna come across is gonna have some kind of things you don't like,
Yeah.
or that you feel maybe that you're not even willing to maybe work on it or see through it, and maybe it's not even that serious.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think there's perfect women or men out there. So there's always going to be something. If you're looking for something wrong, it's going to be.
I'm glad you even brought that up because I think in general, that's one of the problems with dating nowadays is that people are very quick to walk away because of a red flag, an ick, something, comes across that you may not find attractive or you're annoyed by, whatever.
Right.
And there's no perfect person. Like you said, I think you said it perfectly. No matter who you date, there's always going to be something that you like about them. And then, through time, you'll get to know maybe they have a habit that you don't like or something about them bothers you. But yeah, I agree with you.
And do you see things improving in general? Like this society is crazy with dating, how it's been working out with men and women. Who do you feel that needs to start stepping up more in the positive direction, men or women?
I think it's difficult for me to speak on this just because I haven't been really in the dating environment for a very long time because I am currently going through a divorce, have been for the past couple of years. And now I've been in my relationship. That was the first relationship after the separation. And in between that time, I wasn't really dating either. So, but from what I have observed, at least, I think a lot of women are also just kind of seeing through that game.
Yeah.
A lot of them probably also taking the same route as also jumping from man to man.
Yeah.
And then it seems like also because before women or even men too, it was said that the man has to be the provider. It was a certain, I guess, like a standard set.
Yeah.
And now it's just man, like, why should we be the providers? And women, there are still women that do believe there is somebody out there. And I personally don't believe in the whole provider kind of thing. I'm 50-50 kind of person. And so I think a lot of women are either then busy looking for that person, but again, a lot of men have the mentality that that's not fair, or, you know, why should they be the provider when, in today's economy, especially when one person salary is not going to make it.
It's not like the 1950s where a guy could have one regular job and get a mortgage and afford, you know, having a family and kids and a car and so on and so forth. We're in different times. And
Exactly. So you were saying that in this situation, you're more traditional versus, less traditional versus, you know, nowadays the way everybody is with splitting things 50-50. Traditional was back then for you. Now it's like not the same as it was.
From my own experience, it actually was never traditional. So coming from Russia, I was born in Russia and lived there until I was 10. Both of my parents have always been working. On top of working, we had a whole farm pretty much.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they were working and working at home, both always, my mom, my dad, always doing. My mom did have the traditional tasks such as cooking, cleaning, all these kind of things, and then dad was outside doing whatever. So that was more traditional, I guess. But overall, it's never been that dad was the provider. It's always been
interesting.
I grew up, and then even moving to Germany. In Germany, we pretty much started. My parents were trying to pick up a new life, and up until today, both of my parents. My dad has just retired, but he's still he's bored in retirement, so he just picked up like a part-time job.
Yeah.
But both of my parents have always been working together, and that's how I think. I don't know if it rubbed off on me. I don't know why somebody should be working and the other person shouldn't financially. I understand the other person might be contributing in other ways.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I don't believe in, like the women should always cook and clean and all that. I do want that to be kind of equal because I got my hard days too.
Yeah.
Again, I'm working just as much as you do. Maybe not a physical job. I work as a controller in the office, but it's mental. As a manager, it can be very mental. So, and another funny thing about me, though, even though I do want help in the household, I do like certain things my way. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
I end up
course,
cleaning myself. I end up, but just because I like to have things a certain way.
Yeah.
And
you have your particulars, specifics about how you want things
run. That's what
run.
they call OCD or
Organized and in a certain
like certain schedules, certain things happening throughout the day, how the house is
folding
run.
the clothes a certain way.
Okay.
Simple things, but it's just always has been in my marriage. And in my marriage, I didn't have any issues with that because, again, it was always falling on me.
Okay.
And I think back in the marriage, I did feel, okay, as a wife and as a mother, I had certain duties. I did, when I moved to Germany, and to the U.S., I did start my bachelor degree here. That was during my second pregnancy. I was working still at night while he was watching the kids to like a part-time job. And so he was paying the bills at that time. And I was with the kids and also doing school at that time.
Very busy. Yeah.
A busy time. Yeah. I
Busy
mean,
life.
you get to that point where you have no choice. You have to split 50-50 because, again, there's so many things going on. You want to be able to accomplish much more.
Yeah.
Not just depend on one person to provide.
Exactly.
Which is what it, was back in the day, but times have changed now. Economy's different. Things are tougher now. So it's great that there's, ladies out there that want to help out, cooperate, because there's ladies out there that they don't want to, do anything 50-50. So it's a good thing.
I think that was one of the lessons that I actually learned in my marriage. During my marriage, I have always been financially independent. So even going into the marriage, because I have met him in Germany, and then he moved to the U.S. and we did a long-term relationship. So I did have worries about moving, and because of the whole visa, you're not able to work right away. Thank God I was able to work, I think, within the first 3 months. So because I was worried about, okay, I'm going to live off my
Savings.
Yeah. I just didn't want to be a burden to him, especially being kind of newly married. It's always was like I felt a certain way. I did not feel comfortable with that.
Plus it's a big move when you move to a new country. Like I was just in France recently, and it's so different culturally that I could imagine what it's like leaving your old life, moving to a new country, looking for new work, different language. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So back to the lesson that I learned, I think. So during the time that I did have the first child, that's when I initially stopped working, the job that I did have at that time. And then he was also in the military, so we were moving a lot. We were moving from state to state. And while I was doing school, I felt, or what I now got to hear after separating is, you did not financially equally contributed to the household.
That's what he was saying?
So now when it comes to the divorce, when it got to the divorce and now we are splitting assets and stuff, so now I get to hear, but financially you were never contributing equally as me, because there were times, again, I was out with children.
Yeah.
And the part-time job that I had at night, it was literally just for myself, like whatever I wanted to buy for myself, but not contributing to the bills.
Okay, so he was the main provider.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, he was paying, and it kind of makes me feel very, I don't want to say bad, but just uncomfortable overall. I just don't like to be, again, a burden. And I know my therapist and other people would say, but you contributed while raising the kids, of course, in other ways, right?
Of course, yeah.
But when you just look at the financially, I always think maybe he's not wrong. Financially, I did not contribute during these times. So that's why it was important for me to. And another thing that was holding me back, because our marriage has not worked for a long time. One thing, which is, I guess, goes back to the traditional, that I was raised with the values of, I guess, once you get married, you stay married kind of thing.
Yeah, which is good.
Which
we believe in the
is
same.
good.
Yeah.
And I think that is more in the still definitely more visible in the East European countries.
Yeah, definitely.
More than here. So I think here in the U.S. I did pick up a little bit on that selfish, I want to say, kind of way of thinking that I'm okay. It's not about like what my parents expect from me or what the society expect from me. And then the kids, of course, were another part that I just felt that I do not have the right to take that opportunity away from them, to have their dad around 24/7 pretty much. But I know in the back of my mind, which I didn't want to admit at the beginning, it was also the fear, the financial stability fear. So once I got to that point, I know that is actually what made me move and say, okay, this is enough, this is not working. And with the kids and, my parents at that point still didn't know that we were actually not doing well and going towards a separation. But that definitely was the last push, kind of, okay, now you can, build your own life, and now you can actually, you don't have to be scared.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want to be in a situation where I'm not financially stable, where I can make decisions that I would like to make based on that.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, makes sense.
So that's why it's important to me to be financially independent, and that goes back again to contributing equally to the household.
Yeah. Yeah, I think generally a lot of divorces happen for, I've never been married, so I can't say firsthand, but from what I hear, a lot of it is financial related.
Yeah.
Financial stress, you know, mortgage payments, you know, you're both working. And again, I don't have kids, but my friends have kids, and I know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. Drop them off at daycare, go to work all day, pick them up. So yeah.
100%, 100%. I mean, I'm sure coming over, you know, from, Russia, Germany, and then coming here, you built your independence. Do you feel that you became more independent here, you know, especially after the divorce?
I was pretty independent back in Germany, but I was also single, so I did not have responsibility. Well, you know, my own responsibilities, but I was not responsible for two little humans.
Right. That's different. Big difference. Yeah.
You know, when you're single, you can take a risk here and there, maybe quit your job and, I don't know, stay with a friend or stay back with your parents.
Yeah.
I did not have that option here.
Right.
And that was another thing because back then he would not let me go back to Germany because that's where all my family was, the support system, and me not being financially stable. I couldn't move. I didn't want to move and maybe live under the bridge or whatever. You know, I had two little kids to take care of.
Right.
So
that's always tough when you have, you know, big responsibilities and you're on your own and you kind of have your back against the wall. Like, okay, what do I do? How do I handle it? But, you know, I'm sure as a parent, you always find a way to do it. It's like a survival instinct.
You have to, because again, you have children depend on you. And I think I went about as more smart, I want to say. So I didn't make rational, because I could have said, oh, I'm leaving, and just struggle to pick myself up. But I didn't want to do that either, obviously. So I did finalize my degree. As bad as the marriage was and as depressed as I was, I still chose to go smart about it somewhat. Right. And I know it sounds probably horrible, but again, I know there were other things why I stayed in this marriage, obviously. But coming out of the marriage, I know that it was that financial. I never wanted to admit it because it was a fear that I didn't want to admit. But I know that was kind of like really, if it was never the financial aspect of it, if it was never, let's say I came and I was already financially stable, maybe I would have left a long time ago.
Got it.
Not tolerating a lot of the stuff that I did tolerate during the marriage.
Got it. Well, my next question was going to be, was the divorce, the relationship breakup amicable? But it doesn't seem like it was a friendly separation and divorce. It seems like, because it's been going on for a while, right? It's been a whole process.
It's been from the beginning. There was infidelity, which kind of started everything. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I feel like he did know that I wasn't going to go anywhere, because I did get pregnant in the first year that we did get married. So I do think, even if he would probably never admit it, he knew, okay, well, she got children. I know how she thinks. I know she values family. And then she doesn't have family here. Where's she going to go? She doesn't have a job now that she's home with the kids doing school. So it was almost like taking advantage of the situation.
Right. So he thinks he has you stuck in a situation.
I do believe that. Maybe not intentional, but in the back of his head, it was kind of like he knew what he was doing.
Right.
Because, again, it was not just a mistake. It was a repetitive behavior. And at some point with no remorse, really.
Right. And that's the sad thing, that, you know, there's no condoning cheating. You know, we tell guys out there, obviously don't cheat. It's not worth it. But the thing is that, you know, men cheat, women will cheat. You know, it's the situation. If your intentions are, you know, because there are people that like to have multiple relationships. If that's your intention up front, you should say that up front. But if it's not, then it's technically cheating. You're going behind, you know, your other, you know, significant other's back and cheating, and it's wrong. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And again, maybe there are women that are willing or are okay. It's funny because in his mind, he was being he mentioned it before, like a Hugh Hefner kind of.
Okay.
That's the kind of relationship he wanted, a marriage.
So
Okay.
he wanted multiple to be involved with multiple women.
That came out during the marriage already. So I was
Oh.
already here in the U.S. and, but yeah, he threw it out there. But then again, the women that have, is he still alive? I don't even know if.
He passed away.
Oh,
Hugh Hefner? Yeah, he passed away.
He
Yeah.
passed away. Yeah. He was old. He lasted a long
Like
time.
the lifestyle they are living. First thing, the women that are there, they're there for the money.
Of course.
So
yeah.
he didn't have all that kind of money to live that kind of lifestyle. So it was funny to me actually, because if there are women that are willing to do that, they would do it for the money. But I'm sure there are women that also are into that kind of lifestyle without.
Like the polygamy.
Yes. I personally, I do not believe. I think a relationship emotionally is between two people, and emotionally, it's just difficult even to imagine to have a third, fourth, or whatever person. And if you are not emotionally connected in a relationship, then there's really no point to have a
It's not even
relationship.
really a relationship at that point.
There's no point to have a relationship.
I wanted to ask you, so when you came to the U.S., like, did you notice a massive difference in the dating culture compared to, because I know I'm Polish, so I know how it is over there. In Europe, like you said, it tends to be a little bit more, I don't even want to say traditional, but it's definitely different than here.
They
Did
have
you notice
more
a-
values.
More
I think
values.
That's what you would say.
More
yeah.
values. And people, I think, tend to date more long term. Here, it's kind of like the Wild West when it comes to dating. Because, people, like you said, people date short term, people jump from person to person. It's kind of crazy. But did you notice that right away when you came here?
I did. And the first thing that I actually noticed is the single mothers out here.
Okay.
That was the
Yeah.
first thing that, even before coming here and getting, familiar with the U.S. and stuff, that was always the first thing that stands out. And again, as far as the values, it's not that, because I think everybody has, I guess, the values, morals, we kind of go back to the Bible. That's kind of the standard.
Yeah.
But then there are also, people come up with their own values. And
True.
I'm kind of like, okay, we are here on this earth to live the life that we want. But then if everybody came up with their own values, I mean, the crimes, it would be a wild west, like you said, right? So I did notice that maybe in Germany that people were just more, maybe they thought worried more about what people say, because that's what I was worried about as far as my parents when it comes to divorce. Like, I didn't want to, or even my whole family, period. My mom, she has 7 siblings. We have a pretty big family, and there's not one divorce. Just recently, one of my cousins actually got divorced. But that would be like almost like an embarrassment, and
Correct. You have that kind of like societal pressure. And I think that's what's like unique about the US is here, you don't really have that pressure. Like whether you cheat or not, or like however you live your life, like here it's kind of just like an open book. And I know what you mean. In Poland, same thing. Like if you were to cheat or like get divorced, like it's looked upon differently than here.
yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest differences. Yeah.
Yes, here I think maybe again the people are more judgmental. Could be that.
Yeah.
And here you got people judging here as well.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just another part of why they call the U.S. the land of the free.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
you just.
You can do and express yourself as you want and do certain
Yeah.
things. And I think it's kind of like a thing here in the West where, divorces happen, where, there's single mothers, as you said, where it's cheating happens. It's kind of like a societal thing. It's kind of sadly been popular. It happens a lot, and it's sad. It's a sad situation. But
It is. And it's both ways, I guess. It is sad because people are so quick to throw away. But same time, like I remember when I did the first time tell my mom what was going I only told her like a small portion of what was going on. And the first thing she said was like, oh, but you have to try to make it work instead of.
And that was the old school mentality that I think
That
kept a
is.
lot of those marriages together
How
for
dare you?
40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was almost now having adapted to the US, I guess, a little more. I was almost like not upset with her, but just like, how can you say that to your daughter knowing that she's not being treated
Correctly. Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, again, it was then also that I noticed my depression and everything going on. At some point, I didn't want that to affect my relationship with the children or the environment, the children
Right.
that I have my children in. So there was another one. I was just, okay, this is it. I live my world. It is a little bit easier now that my parents and my family are over there in Germany, so they're not like present.
Yeah.
So it's, kind of away.
Yeah.
They
Good.
know what's going on, but still kind of, I'm living kind of my own little life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to
here.
have your own space to do what you want. And
It's easier.
Yeah,
You don't constantly
You don't feel that pressure that they're
the
going to
judge, the
interfere and criticize and try
Right.
to steer you into a different direction, currently with, your previous relationship with, while you were
Right.
married. Now in your current relationship, they're not giving you this advice that is going to affect you negatively.
Right.
And that's
Absolutely.
that's what people like, that independence, so they can make their own decisions. Whether it's good decisions, whether it's not the best
Also good
decisions,
decisions, yeah.
at least it's their decision and they can take responsibility for their own decisions.
Yeah, but going back to, again, too many people, I think, just throwing it away
Yeah.
too quickly. So there are things sometimes you can work on. Again, not everybody, nobody is perfect, and you have to accept some of the flaws, and there are things that you can live with. I have to learn, because that's also kind of allows you to grow as a person, to accept or be able to live with other people's imperfections.
100%.
Just like-
And,
live
something I
with
see on
yours.
YouTube all the time, and I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. It's like all you really see is these shorts and videos on red flags and icks.
Right.
And the first thing you see, and it's almost like they're focusing on reasons to disqualify the person. And again, the end result is people just like staying single, or they jump from person to person. So yeah, I think that's what has to change. Is here people just give up. They'll talk for a couple weeks, a couple months, and they'll end it and block each other and ghost each other. It's a really weird dating culture we have here.
It's a tough one. I mean, people are just doing whatever they want, and it's wild. And I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. I mean, we're here trying to do our best, our good. We have a wonderful lady here, like all the other ladies that we have on the show, tell their story and tell their part and try to help. But I feel like there has to be a big sort of revolution when it comes to that sort of thing. When it comes to men, women, relationships, marriage, divorce, talking stage, because you have all these things that it just complicates it for a lot of people. Cheating, that's another one.
Well, you have the whole and I'm sure you've heard this term, like passport bros. So a lot of men here got frustrated with dating, so they go visit other countries and they seek relationships elsewhere, right? Like Eastern Europe, Colombia. One of my friends just went to Thailand, and my friend went there for a few weeks, came back, and he said when he went there, they treated him like he felt like he was like a king or something. You know what I mean? And obviously it's because your money goes longer there, and
Right.
and they also have certain incentives that they're looking for. It's not like they like you for you, of course, but that's a whole nother thing. Is men here are getting on a plane and going somewhere else.
I just think because I did, even back in Germany, man, usually I felt like, if you just look at the physical appearance, I guess, man that may not be able to land like a good-looking woman,
I get what you're saying.
they are going to Thailand,
Yes.
to the less fortunate countries,
Yes.
because the women there, and the women are actually great.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they only doing it for the money, because they still bring, they are treating them as I met a couple women actually they do treat them
Differently.
with respect, way more respect than, they appreciate the life
Yes.
that is given to them because, again, they come from a less fortunate place. And so it is, I guess, I wouldn't even say that the money for these women is like what's motivating them.
Right.
It's just, of course, it's an opportunity for a better life, but no, they appreciate it
Yes.
because of that.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, where really it comes from, not just, let me...
Correct.
Because there are women here that are chasing the money, and they still not treating the person with respect, and
It's
they
funny because-
actually treating them probably even worse because they feel like, okay, I'm the trophy, and... again, this is something that I'm not okay with, period, with dating for money or...
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I was going to say, like, so we brought this topic up and we had another guest on and she goes, well, if you go to Colombia, they're just going to use you for your money. That's all they want, your money. And I'm like, well, it's not like it's any different here. It's just, you know what I mean? It's not like they love us for our charms and good looks here. So, I think it's kind of a silly way to look at it because again, men are going to go where they're treated, with the way they want to be treated, right? We also want to be respected and treated a certain way, and that's how you have a healthy relationship. And it's harder to find that now here.
Yeah, I think men try to go to those countries to feel like that they have that chance at enjoying those traditional values, that women are able to treat them as they expect to be treated and not to be treated like garbage. Which tends to happen in, a country like here, like the U.S., where men feel disrespected. That's, part of the reason, obviously not saying in your particular situation, but that's part of the reason why men go off and do certain things like cheating and like, test out all kinds of types of relationships. But obviously it's not the best thing to do, but that's why, that's one reason why guys do that.
I think it's just a prime example of how, like, as times change, people are going to adapt to it and find other ways to make it work. Like, however things go, people are going to eventually, over the years, find ways to get what they want. So
I think it's just also here in the U.S., if you look at it, like, it's the options too, though. Everybody has options. And as far as comparing, like, somebody that comes from Thailand, here you got rich man everywhere.
Yeah.
For them, it's not like there's a rich man showing up every day or multiple. Yeah. So here, they don't have as many options, obviously. So here, I think you can find multiple rich guys every day.
Yeah.
So women also have options. And the women that do like that kind of lifestyle, or if that satisfies them, I guess, whatever it is, that's okay. It's not something for me for sure. It's not giving me purpose, I guess, in life overall. Yeah.
Do you think that men are pushed to explore all their options because of just, I guess, not being able to deal with one particular woman and depend that she might, I guess, initiate a breakup or a divorce or something like that? Do you think that men, should try to explore their options if they can?
I would say it depends. Again, how much you are into that woman, and then outweigh your pros and cons, I guess. If you're already considering like another option, I think, again, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. You're just not in it with your all for the right
reasons.
To be in a long-term relationship
with that person specifically.
Because I think knowing that you want to have a long-term relationship, you're kind of already moving into it, knowing exactly what are something that you will not accept about a woman.
Right.
And I think these are kind of also the first thing that you probably would ask and find these out, and not just start dating and maybe find out later on.
It's better get that out of the way. First couple dates, have those conversations, right? And see where you both stand.
Yeah, 100%. But if you don't have these kind of I want to say standards or requirements. You just go along with it, and then something pops up. Oh, I really don't like it, and there's somebody else that might not be doing it, but then they probably doing something else
Correct.
that you're not liking.
Correct.
Who do you feel has the most options here now? Do you think that women have the most options? Do you think that men have the most options? Do you think it's equal? Because I have the answer, but what do you think from a woman's perspective? Who do you think has the most options?
I would say women, just because I do think that women are not as easy. Not all, but there is more women that are independent, confident, and just know what they want. And a lot of men are just, again, chasing just one thing, or for the most part. And that's why they are easy. So if a woman that is educated, good looking, and got her shit together pretty much, goes out there, she got way more options.
Yeah.
Because now she can pick, okay, all these men obviously find her attractive. She got the pussy.
Yeah, that's true.
So probably 10 out of 10 women, men are already, okay, I want that woman. But she now can choose maybe even none of them. And as when it comes to a man, and let's say there are 10 women, not all of the 10 women is going to want him.
Right.
Just because he got a dick.
I think if you were to take
the same reason,
just an average looking woman, an average looking man with average job, and took them out on like a weekend or something, the woman's going to get approached. In the meantime, somebody's going to DM her or try to get at her. Most men do not get any attention from women through DMs, through texting, and when you go out to stand out, because once you get into a conversation with a woman or you go on a date, she's going to try to feel you out financially, right? Where do you work? What are your plans for the future? Because women tend to think more long term, and like you said, we're more short term. We're more like, how does she look? Do we get along? So yeah, I think that's what it comes down to.
And I think another thing you just mentioned, another reason why maybe it seems that women have more options. I guess that just goes back to, the traditional way that men are the ones to approach. Women
yes, which I agree.
The man to approach. So
correct.
A woman is less likely to approach a man.
Yeah,
so
no, 100%, yeah.
Even out of 10 women, there might be some that would like to approach, but just because they have that mentality, oh no, I'm not chasing. I
agree with you. Yeah.
So these options fall off automatically, kind of.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, in person, yeah, you're right. Women aren't going to approach you at all. Yeah, that's up to the man.
It's definitely tough to get women to approach you. Women already have the advantage in this game of dating because women are the ones who get approached. Men are the ones who ask women out. So men are fighting a losing battle as it is at this point. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that, like you said, many options. I mean, think about it. You have Instagram, Facebook, you have Tinder, Bumble, you have all these apps where it's easy to get connected to any woman across the world. You can just slide in her DMs, and if it's a guy that she thinks looks good, is rich, he has status, he is strong, he goes to the gym, he's confident, all these things that he fills in these bubbles, then she's going to focus on that particular guy, and then all the average guys are going to slide out of those options. So I think that women they'll have their options, and they'll try to pick the best one from those options.
Yeah, I think especially like you said, if a woman has if she's educated and she has her own career, she's going to filter out a majority of those guys right out the gate.
Right. I mean, men can do the same, though. That's the thing. And I think a man or woman that have higher standards, have their shit together, I don't see them being on Tinder because, again, they already know what they want. They know what they kind of bring to the table.
Yeah.
So they have higher standards. And I don't want to discriminate or anything, but I don't think I can find like a man that also, because that man that has higher standards and has his shit together, he will also have more options than a man who doesn't.
That's true. That's very
So
true. Yeah.
I don't see that man being so desperate to be on a dating site unless it's kind of like a busy schedule kind of thing.
Like he works all the time and he doesn't have time to go out and meet women in person. And
I think at least for me, and I haven't been on a dating site since beginning of my 20s or whatever, back in Germany probably.
okay.
It's just most people, or that's how it comes so off to me, that most people do get on there to find a fling, really, nothing serious. And I believe I heard of Christian Mingle or whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
there
that's
are
another one.
websites that are like more for a particular class, like religious, or maybe there is dating websites for. I don't want to again discriminate, but higher end or women.
A previous guest mentioned that. I don't even, because there's like the Bumbles and Tinders. There's also ones for like higher class,
Is there?
higher earners. Yeah, I don't know the name of it.
I think it starts with R. Read something. Riyadh. I don't know
Right,
if it's
where
Riyadh
it's
or
specifically
something.
like,
I have to
if you don't make
double-check.
this much, like don't even,
Yeah.
don't even
Do they
try.
check the
I don't know how they confirm it, but yeah,
You have no chance if you're not in that status. They don't even
Don't
look at you.
even- yeah.
So that is pretty much what I'm saying. Like if even without the app, if women get a DM and they see it's some average dude, are they going to respond? Probably not. Very likely that they won't, especially if they're pretty woman in demand with regards to a lot of guys hitting them up, texting them, DMing them, messaging them. They're going to look and see who the best one of the group is, just by the followers. If there's a guy that has 400 or 500 followers versus a guy that has thousands of followers, it'll likely be to his advantage for the woman, because she'll think, okay, this guy is legitimate, he's something, he has a big following, let me look into it further. And then if the conversation goes well, then who knows where it goes next.
I forget the
But-
exact number, but it's something like 10% of guys on dating apps get like 90% of the matches. So like what you said is true. Like
90%?
yeah, like the top 10% of men on dating apps, and the better looking, higher earning men, they're the ones that are really getting a majority of the swipes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's yeah,
The-
yeah.
the
Because
bottom
the first thing
yeah.
with the swiping, it's the physical, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be your looks. I don't think people start reading your bio. The first thing that catches your eye is the looks.
Yeah.
But I wonder, do you guys know the numbers, like how many women and how many men there are on dating websites? I could
Yeah.
see more men.
Oh, there's got to
It's
be.
probably more men. That's probably more men. Yeah.
There's definitely more men on there. It's just how, like you were saying, only the bottom 85% are the ones that women don't even swipe on. They focus on the top 10 to 15%. 15% if lucky. We might even be stretching it. So it's a rough situation for guys.
But I could
So-
see the same for women, though.
That they get a lot of bad like matches, or that the higher percentage of women get.
That only, because what you're saying is only 15 or whatever percent get
Yeah.
all the matches pretty
The
much.
good looking, higher earner,
I do
tall
see that
guys.
for women too, though.
the best looking women get the most of the.
Of course. And again, the guys are behind the screen. They're going to shoot their shot. Whether
Good point.
they know, like, they're really not probably going to be,
In a relationship or.
yeah, they're probably not her caliber. Like,
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good point.
So they still going to shoot the shot.
True.
Well, even the average women, they're going to have their opportunities as well. I mean, they'll at least have a few guys trying to hit them up. So, and they may reject them. They may be aiming high, out of their range. On a scale from 1 to 10, you have the top women like 8s, 9s, 9s and a halves. We don't say 10 because unfortunately nobody's perfect in life. But and we have to be realistic. But then you have like the 5, 6, and 5, 6s and 7s who are still going to be, nowadays they have high expectations. They still want, the best guy. I mean, they might not get that rich, top tier, high status guy, confident guy, like the best of the best, but they still want an above average man.
I think, at least from a woman's perspective, it's kind of women, or at least me, you kind of know who is in, like, when you look at a man and sometimes you think, oh, I'm definitely out of his league for whatever reason.
You can just tell by the photo.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if men do that too sometimes, that you think, oh, I'm
What we do, I think, is a little different
because
because I don't know if you could attest to this, but like when I swipe through pictures, sometimes I know I'm at her. Like if it's like a picture on a rooftop in New York somewhere, I'm like, that seems like a higher maintenance person, and it's just not for me. If that makes sense.
Right.
You know, like,
Well,
is it not for you, or do you
just-
think like she would not even?
I
give
think when
a
I scroll
guy
through
like
pictures, well, that too. But when I scroll through pictures, if it seems like a very high maintenance like person that likes luxury and like, I just don't even swipe on it. I'll just, you know what I'm saying? So
because you know that's actually not for you.
It's not for
even
me.
that you think, oh, you're not gonna have a shot. As you think, you just because for many reasons.
Correct.
You just don't want to, because usually they are into money. They are into like for the wrong.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like materialistic.
materialistic,
Yeah.
right?
So
So that's.
do you do
one-
the same thing when you swipe through photos, or do you just go?
I mean, I would say I focus on the looks of anything. I mean,
Of course.
I think in general, guys aim as high as they can, and if they get lucky, whether it's on an app, which I'm not really on much if ever, like very rarely, but an app or in person, I think there's still the guys that will try, but there are guys that have this approach anxiety because there's guys that don't go up to women as much as you'd expect them to go up to because they're scared of being rejected. They're scared of being Me Too'd or being called the creep. There's certain things that scare guys away. So I've seen, from the outside, when I'm focusing on going after women and things like that, I'll always aim high and see what happens. But I've seen
in person.
either in person or, it could be online messaging, whatever the case is. But for me, I try to do it in person. I think it's better in person.
Because I think in person you kind of can read the person or can read the room.
Right.
Whether you have like, if they're looking at you, you kind of get an idea.
You get a vibe.
This person, she might be interested.
Right.
And swiping on the internet, I think you have no clue really.
No.
And I think more likely, if she's looking high maintenance and like super pretty or whatever, you probably think, you don't know. Maybe she actually would go with an average guy. Maybe she is looking for an average guy because she's tired of all these good-looking men approaching her, but they're treating her shitty.
Yeah.
So you can't really. That's why I think maybe it is not even wrong for the guys to shoot their shot because you never know.
Yeah, good point.
I'm not even really on the apps nowadays to look for dating or anything like that. I'm kind of just there to kind of learn for myself, like how it's, going for guys, like how difficult it is for guys. Because I'm not necessarily like, with how busy we are with all the things that we're doing, I'm not really focused on that. But I can tell that guys have a difficult time.
Something I'll never understand, and I'll end it on this, is once in a while I'll connect with somebody that's like severely overweight. I'm not talking about just like a gut, like 300 pounds. And I always wonder, like, are these people really seriously looking for something on dating apps, or is this just like a joke? Like we did an episode where we did like reactions to certain Tinder profiles that we came across.
Yeah,
and you would be surprised what you see, like an overweight woman in her boxers and her thing, or like her stomach's hanging over. And I'm like, are these people really looking to hook up with somebody on an app? Like, are certain guys into that? But
maybe
there are guys I think into that.
maybe I guess I'm just like.
I think there's guys into that, but I also think that there's women on there probably trolling and just
Maybe trolling, yeah.
Just
I don't know. I do think that some women, overweight or even guys, that they do have the confidence to do
go
that.
for it. Yeah, I guess.
And I do believe that there are men
That'll go for it.
that could be good looking, whatever, that they do that behind closed doors.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Because they are into that.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I talk from experience.
Wow.
Because my
Well,
ex, he was into like actually bigger women.
Bigger women?
Yeah, but he felt because the society kind of almost shames you for so that's why it was more so behind closed doors, like a secret kind of thing.
What came to mind now is like that show, My 600-Pound Life. A lot of those women are married or in a relationship, so I guess some guys are just into that. I know we're reaching an hour for the live. Did you want to just get into a couple quick fitness things, and then we'll do
Yeah, we can do a couple quick fitness questions, and then guys, we are going to do a pre-record, so we are live. So again, I put in the chat. Make sure that you guys again are subscribing. You are following Lena on her Instagram and supporting her. And any comments that you guys or questions that you guys have now, super chat them to the show, and we'll read them if you do have anything to say. But we're going to shortly move on to the pre-record part of the show, so make sure you subscribe so you're ready to stay tuned for when that comes up. But you had a question?
Yeah, no, so you recently did a fitness competition, so can you tell us a little bit about that and the whole journey, like the training, the dieting, how that all looked for the people that are into working out?
Yeah, so I've always been into gym. At a younger age, I was playing sports, soccer for many years. But I think about 2021, after my separation, I think that's where I found kind of peace and also a place to build my confidence back up. That's when I started working out more with a purpose, where I started seeing results. And I've never been overweight or anything, but and back then I was always, I think, not working out hard enough because I was one of the women that were afraid to get muscle. And now I'm totally into muscles. But as far as the bodybuilding, so I always have been working out and got more into it a couple of years ago. And it's been a lot of people been asking me before I started my bodybuilding journey, like, oh, do you compete? Do you compete? And I was never really into it. Never thought about it. But that kind of gave me I was like, okay, people seeing something that maybe I'm not seeing, maybe.
Yeah.
So I started looking into it, and last year, I think in August, that's when I decided to pursue it. Yeah. So I started working with a coach for mainly because I'm pretty good with my gym part, working out. I got my own workouts and stuff. It's the nutrition part that I needed help.
That's the hard part.
That's the toughest part.
Yeah.
That is the toughest part.
Yeah, it's 90%, almost like 85, 90% what you eat, and the other 10% is workout, recovery.
How many days a week were you at the gym training?
6 days, sometimes 7 days.
Oh, wow.
I try. I heard about the benefits of rest days, so I do try to take rest days. But if 6 days a week.
And then, so when you're working with a coach, so how does the diet plan work? Like, do you do like a certain amount of months gaining, and then do you go through like I'm imagining like a cut period towards then? Like, how did that look?
Yeah, so we started in working in September, I think last year. September. So we started off where he gets familiar with your metabolism first.
Okay.
That is, he would assign exact meals, like you have to weigh out your rice, your chicken, whatever. So he would put together meals for me. And we started off with higher meals. And then over 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks, you track your weight, obviously. And he sees with pictures, progress pictures and everything. And he sees, okay, is this calories, the amount of calories work for you? Are you gaining weight? Because then it would mean you're in a surplus.
Okay.
So that's how we figured out the metabolism first. And so we were building at first. I was not really in surplus, but I was maintaining. So
okay, maintenance phase.
And then I competed June 28th, and we started the prep 12 weeks out.
12 weeks out, okay.
Yeah, that's when, because during the other phase, you still get like once, twice a week, your cheat meal. It's not as strict. And the prep started where you literally just have to go. And obviously you are, during that time, in a caloric deficit.
Those 12 weeks?
In the 12 weeks,
okay.
Yes. So you are now leaning out. You not necessarily building muscle. I was still working out 5-6 days a week, maintaining at least. So you are usually high protein to maintain your muscle, so you don't lose the muscle during the 12 weeks.
So they'll increase the protein intake and then lower the carbs during that.
Lower the carbs, yes, and the fats.
Okay.
And do more cardio to burn more calories. So I think my starting at 12 weeks, I was at like 151 pounds, and my stage weight was 135.
What kind of cardio do they have you do? Is it like low intensity, like stairs or incline?
I like Stairmaster. That's my favorite. But something, he told me not to run just because it's like too heavy or whatever. But I had to maintain my my heartbeat between 120 and 130.
120, 130. Okay.
Yeah, I can't tell you the exact details why. That's what I was told to do. That's what I did. So I usually did a Stairmaster on like a 9-10 speed. For 30 minutes. At the last couple of weeks, it was everyday cardio kind of thing.
Cardio's every day for that 12-week period.
No. At the beginning, it was easy. It was like, I think I had maybe 1.5 hours a week.
Okay.
For the whole week. So I would do like 30, 3 times a week. But
and then they up it up as
it
you.
It was every day, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, whatever.
Yeah.
And I hated cardio, even though I used to play soccer, which is weird, right? But
yeah, it's weird because that's one of the sports that you have to mostly do cardio.
Middle field, so I was running a lot.
Wow.
But I got actually to enjoy it at the end of the prep.
Yeah.
So trying to get back into it though.
Good. Cool. And how much? Because this, a lot of people, they compete and they try to intertwine it with their daily life activities. How much of an effect does it have in your life in general, trying to balance out eating, working out, sleeping, recovering, trying to prepare for competing while still running your daily activities, working at your job, taking care of your kids, making sure you're maintaining your relationship? How do you do it? How do you balance it all out?
I think I did pretty well for it being my first time and not knowing what to expect. Again, the key to this is meal prepping. Without meal prepping, it helps your time management. It helps you to stay with the diet.
Yeah.
Your meals are ready to eat, because if you don't, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
Literally, there's no chance you can.
Mm-hmm.
But there were, of course, days that were more stressful. But I think overall, minus the mental breakdowns here and there, I think I did actually pretty good, even with the kids and work and all the other day-to-day kind of life happens still. Right. Life continues.
You still have to do it, work on and do your thing on a daily basis. Yeah.
It was a little harder, obviously, because you felt like maybe you are missing out because, like, even usually we go out every now and then with my boyfriend to eat or to drink, like bar or whatever. Yeah. And that part was a little bit difficult because I felt that I'm missing actual life.
I hear you.
But
you felt restricted. You couldn't do certain things, drink certain things.
Right. So you are definitely kind of limited. But at the end, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I did it. It took me a while to kind of overcome the fear of being on stage in front of so many people. And
I can imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
And, but yeah, it's, people say, wow, it takes a lot of discipline and dedication and stuff. And it does, but it's a good kind, like, if that makes sense. It makes you,
I'm sure it feels very rewarding, like putting all that work in for a reason, So,
And it's not just the body you're looking at. It's just rewarding knowing you did that.
Yeah.
You went through. You were
challenging yourself.
Enough,
you accomplished it. You got to a point where you didn't realize you could do it prior. So. And
that was one of the things going into that starting bodybuilding. The first thing I said with my coach, like, I need to challenge myself, and not just my body. I want to see what my body can do, but also challenge as far as like mentally, something, to look forward to stay busy, I guess, or just have like a goal overall.
Do you have any tips for somebody that's getting into bodybuilding for the first time, things that you learned along your journey?
consistency, and again, it's hard. And just because hopefully my coach doesn't hear it, but I did have a couple bites here and there
Some
during
cheat meals?
my 12 weeks. So even if you do that, like, don't just give up and say, oh, now I had a bite of that pizza or whatever
Yeah.
it was, right?
You have to stay in
But
it.
now I can't, like, now let me break it up and then start over again. No, obviously I didn't do that. Now for my next competition, I definitely know, okay, I will not do that because I know these little things do affect how
Yeah.
you look at the end.
Yeah.
And I want to give it 100, over 100% this
Yeah.
time. So
Cool.
That's great. That's awesome. Very good. So I guess we'll start transitioning over to the pre-record.
Yep.
So you want to drop where they can find you one more time before we switch over?
yeah, you can find me on Instagram. It's Lena, LENA_J83.
Awesome. So great to have you. We're going to continue with you on to the pre-record. So guys, make sure that, again, you support your guys over here. We have lovely ladies coming on the show telling you about their life, what they're going through, their experiences. Hopefully you're learning something and we're helping you out for both the men and the women as we try to bridge the gap and try to help out society a little bit, try to contribute in a positive direction. So make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube again and follow all our social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Podcast Guys _, and also on Facebook, Spotify, the Podcast Guys. We will see you next time. Again, subscribe. We're jumping on the pre-record, which will be available, should be within the next 2-3 weeks. So be on the lookout.